Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world where information is everywhere. Books, podcasts, seminars, and social media all promise us the secrets to success. Yet, amidst this flood of advice, some of the most powerful lessons are not found in what is spoken loudly, but in what is often left unsaid, in the pauses, the principles, the hidden wisdom between the lines. Discipline is the hidden bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Jim Rohn often reminded us that success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day, yet behind this simple statement lies a deeper truth that many overlook. Discipline is not dramatic, it does not announce itself, and it rarely feels exciting in the moment. Instead, it is a quiet and steady force, a kind of invisible thread that weaves success into the fabric of life. Motivation can ignite a spark, but without discipline, that spark fades into smoke. The real fire of achievement is sustained by daily, deliberate action. Consider the difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation is emotional. It rises and falls with your feelings, your environment, even the weather. One day you wake up ready to conquer the world, and the next you struggle to even get out of bed. Motivation is inconsistent, and if you rely only on it, your results will be inconsistent as well. Discipline, on the other hand, is rational. It is the decision to act regardless of how you feel. It is the doctor prescribing consistency as the cure for mediocrity, reminding you that the medicine of progress is often bitter in the beginning but healing in the long run. Think of your life as a patient's body. Every choice you make is either a nutrient that strengthens it or a toxin that weakens it. Discipline is the prescription that ensures you feed your life the right nutrients daily. Waking up early to study, exercising when it would be easier to rest, saving money instead of spending it impulsively. These are the vitamins of success. They are small, quiet, almost unnoticed actions, but over time they build a strong and resilient future. Without them, the body of your dreams weakens, and no burst of motivation can restore it overnight. Jim Rohn's hidden wisdom teaches us that the difference between success and failure is rarely dramatic. Failure is not usually the result of one catastrophic event, but the accumulation of small neglects. Missing a day at the gym does not ruin your health, but missing it every day for months will. Spending a little recklessly may not destroy your finances in a week, but consistent, undisciplined spending leads to debt and struggle. In the same way, success is not a single victory, but the accumulation of daily disciplines. Reading 10 pages a day may seem insignificant, but compounded over years, it reshapes the mind. Choosing healthy food instead of junk might feel trivial, but repeated thousands of times, it changes your health trajectory entirely. As a doctor of life, Rohn's lesson is clear. Discipline is preventative medicine. Just as patients are encouraged to care for their bodies before disease strikes, we must care for our habits before failure takes root. Too often, people wait for pain to motivate them. Health scares, financial crises, broken relationships before they take action. Discipline, however, is the preventative habit that avoids these crises altogether. It is the quiet daily decision that shields you from regret and creates a future where opportunity flows naturally. Discipline also creates freedom. A paradox many people fail to see. At first, discipline feels restrictive. It asks you to say no to temptations, to sacrifice comfort, to delay gratification. But in reality, discipline is the very thing that grants freedom. The disciplined individual who saves money has the freedom to invest, to travel, to live without financial chains. The disciplined student who studies consistently gains the freedom of choice in career and opportunity. The disciplined bodybuilder who commits to daily workouts enjoys the freedom of health, strength, and vitality, while others are trapped by fatigue and illness. Discipline is not a prison, it is the key to unlock freedom. Rohn's hidden wisdom whispers this truth. Discipline is the silent architect of your destiny. It does not demand applause, and it rarely offers instant results. But like the steady heartbeat that sustains life, discipline sustains growth. Each disciplined choice, no matter how small, is a prescription for the life you are building. And the beauty of it is that anyone can practice it. You do not need talent, wealth, or privilege to be disciplined. You only need the decision to act again and again until discipline itself becomes your second nature. In the end, discipline is not just about success. It is about self-respect. Every time you follow through on a commitment, you strengthen trust in yourself. You begin to believe in your own word, and that confidence spills into every area of life. The hidden lesson Jim Rohn left us is that discipline is not optional if you want a fulfilling life. It is the quiet foundation on which dreams are built, the daily medicine that cures the disease of procrastination, and the unspoken law that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Motivation may inspire you to start, but only discipline will keep you moving until the finish line is crossed. Growth is often misunderstood. Most people imagine it as a process of adding more skills, more books, more hours, more connections. And while addition plays its role, Jim Rohn's hidden wisdom reminds us that true growth also requires subtraction. Just as a doctor cannot heal a patient by only prescribing vitamins without first addressing infections, you cannot build a stronger life by stacking new habits on top of old destructive ones. The body of your character, your career, and your relationships requires cleansing before strengthening. Growth is not only about what you gain, it is equally about what you let go. Consider how the human body works. When a patient comes with unhealthy symptoms, the first step is not to give them extra food or supplements. The first step is detoxification, removing what is harmful. No amount of nutrients will heal a body poisoned by toxins unless those toxins are cleared. Life works in exactly the same way. You cannot truly grow while holding on to excuses, toxic people, or self-destructive patterns. Subtraction is the first medicine of progress. Excuses are among the most dangerous toxins. They may appear harmless, justifying a missed opportunity, blaming circumstances, or pointing fingers at others. But excuses weaken the immune system of your character. Every time you allow yourself to believe that life owes you something, you remove the possibility of responsibility. Jim Rohn often said, "Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better." That statement carries a doctor's wisdom. Instead of medicating symptoms with complaints, treat the disease at its root by building strength. To grow, you must first subtract the excuses that make you powerless. The same principle applies to habits. Imagine a patient committed to exercising daily but still smoking heavily and consuming poor food. Progress will always be limited until the harmful habits are removed. In life, you may read self-improvement books and attend motivational seminars, but if you continue feeding yourself laziness, procrastination, or negativity, your growth will remain stunted. It is not enough to add new routines. You must subtract the ones that drain you. Toxic relationships are another infection that requires removal. As a doctor advises patients to avoid harmful environments filled with pollutants, you too must examine the people you surround yourself with. Some relationships act like fresh oxygen. They energize, uplift, and heal. Others act like carbon monoxide, silent but deadly, poisoning your spirit while you hardly notice. Growth requires courage to let go of those who keep you stagnant or pull you backward. By subtracting toxic influences, you make space for healthier, supportive connections that accelerate your progress. There is also the matter of beliefs, deeply rooted mental toxins. Many people walk around with invisible infections, beliefs that they are not good enough, that success is reserved for others, or that failure defines them permanently. These beliefs are the viruses of the mind, multiplying silently until they dominate your decisions. You can try to add confidence on top, but until you remove the infected belief system, the symptoms will return. Healing requires subtraction, clearing out limiting beliefs, replacing them with truth, and giving yourself permission to grow freely. Subtraction, though, is rarely comfortable. Patients do not enjoy giving up unhealthy habits or detoxifying their diets. Likewise, in life, it is painful to cut off an old routine, a long-standing excuse, or even a familiar relationship. But medicine often tastes bitter before it heals, and subtraction feels painful before it empowers. The doctor's wisdom says, trust the process. Pain is temporary, but the health and freedom it creates are lasting. Once you remove the unnecessary weight, growth becomes natural. A tree pruned of dead branches grows stronger, more balanced, and more fruitful. A body free from toxins absorbs nutrients more efficiently. A mind free from limiting beliefs absorbs knowledge and turns it into wisdom. This is the hidden wisdom Jim Rohn left us. Don't only look for what to add, but ask yourself daily, what must I subtract? In the end, subtraction is not about loss, but about liberation. By letting go of what no longer serves you, you reclaim energy, clarity, and direction. You remove the infection of excuses, the toxins of bad habits, the poisons of toxic relationships, and the viruses of limiting beliefs. What remains is a life open to healing, ready to receive growth, and capable of flourishing. Growth is not just expansion, it is purification. And just as no doctor can heal a patient without removing what harms them, no person can grow without subtracting what holds them back. Your future is not waiting for you in some distant year. It is already being built in the quiet routines of today. Jim Rohn often said success is predictable, and the unspoken wisdom behind this is that the prediction comes not from luck nor from sudden breakthroughs, but from the habits you repeat day after day. In the same way a doctor can predict the long-term health of a patient by observing their diet, exercise, and lifestyle, you can predict the trajectory of your life by examining your daily routine. The body of your future is hidden in the small, consistent actions you take now. Think of the daily routine as a medical chart. Every morning you choose what you feed your body, what you feed your mind, and what you feed your spirit. Those choices may seem insignificant, whether you rise early or sleep in, whether you read or scroll aimlessly, whether you plan your day or drift through it. But like small doses of medicine, repeated over time, they determine the condition of your life. No doctor prescribes a single pill to cure a patient permanently. Healing always comes through consistent treatment. Likewise, success is not a single event, but the cumulative effect of disciplined routines. Many people wait for major opportunities to change their lives, a new job, a sudden windfall, an unexpected stroke of luck. But just as health is not created in one workout, wealth and success are not created in one dramatic act. They are the result of hundreds, even thousands of small decisions performed consistently. The unspoken truth is this: if your daily routine is careless, your future will be careless. If your routine is intentional, your future will be intentional. The future is not a mystery, it is a mirror of your habits. Consider the patient who neglects small aspects of health, skipping regular checkups, ignoring mild symptoms, indulging in unhealthy food. In the short term, nothing appears catastrophic, but over years, the silent accumulation produces disease, sometimes irreversible. Life works the same way. Neglecting to plan your day, to study consistently, to manage your finances carefully may not show immediate damage, but over time the effects compound, leading to failure that feels sudden but was actually predictable. Jim Rohn's wisdom is preventive medicine. Treat the small habits before they turn into large regrets. On the other hand, a disciplined routine compounds positively. Reading 10 pages of a good book daily may not change your life tomorrow, but over months it reshapes your mind, and over years it makes you wiser than most. Saving a small amount regularly may feel trivial, but given time, it builds financial security and freedom. Choosing to exercise daily does not transform your body overnight, but eventually it creates health that money cannot buy. Like a doctor advising gradual lifestyle adjustments, Rohn's lesson is to trust the compounding effect of small, consistent actions. The challenge is that routines are easy to neglect because they are quiet. There is no immediate applause for waking up early or skipping unhealthy food. No one congratulates you for reading instead of watching television. The results are delayed, and in that delay lies the danger. The doctor warns that neglect feels harmless until it is too late, and so does life. The medicine of discipline often tastes bland compared to the sugar of instant gratification, but it is precisely that medicine that builds a strong and lasting future. Your daily routine is also a reflection of your values. If you claim health is important but your routine ignores exercise and diet, the truth lies in your actions, not your words. If you claim success matters but your daily schedule is filled with distractions, then success is only a wish, not a commitment. Just as a doctor reads lab results to uncover the real condition of a patient, your routine reveals the real condition of your priorities. The hidden wisdom is simple. Do not tell me your goals, show me your habits, and I will tell you your future. Ultimately, the future is not something you stumble into, it is something you build, prescription by prescription, choice by choice, routine by routine. Jim Rohn's hidden lesson is that you are the doctor of your own destiny, and your daily routine is your prescription for success or failure. Each day you choose whether to take the medicine of discipline or the poison of neglect. One leads to vitality, growth, and achievement, the other to decay, regret, and limitation. The good news is that just as patients can turn their health around by changing habits, you too can redirect your future by reshaping your daily routine. The cure is within your control. Leadership is often pictured as standing before a crowd, giving direction or inspiring others with powerful words. Yet Jim Rohn's hidden wisdom reveals something deeper. Leadership does not begin with managing others. It begins with managing yourself. Just as a doctor cannot heal patients without first maintaining their own health, you cannot hope to lead others if you cannot first lead your own mind, habits, and decisions. The foundation of all influence is self-mastery, and without it, every attempt to guide others collapses under the weight of inconsistency. Think of leadership as an immune system. A doctor knows that a patient's body fights off illness when the immune system is strong but collapses when it is weak. In the same way, leadership thrives when your inner discipline is strong, and it fails when your personal standards are weak. You may inspire others with words for a short while, but people eventually see beyond speeches. They observe your actions, your habits, your decisions. If those are inconsistent, your influence becomes hollow. The hidden truth is that leadership is not granted by a title, but by the credibility of your example. Self-leadership begins with the small decisions you make daily. Waking up on time, keeping promises, finishing what you start. These are not minor details. They are the proof that you can govern yourself. Imagine a doctor advising patients to eat healthy while secretly indulging in harmful habits. The advice loses its weight, because example always outweighs instruction. Similarly, in life, you cannot demand discipline from your team, your family, or your colleagues if you cannot demonstrate it in your own behavior. The silent lesson Jim Rohn left us is this: your life is your leadership speech. But self-leadership is not just about discipline, it is also about direction. A doctor must know the diagnosis before prescribing a cure. In the same way, you must know your values and goals before attempting to lead yourself or others. Without a clear vision, discipline becomes mechanical and eventually unsustainable. Self-leadership requires both structure and purpose. The structure to follow through on commitments, and the purpose to ensure those commitments align with your highest goals. Without this alignment, you may become efficient at climbing a ladder only to discover it is leaning against the wrong wall. One of the hidden challenges of self-leadership is honesty. A doctor must be truthful in diagnosing a condition, even when the news is difficult to deliver. In the same way, you must be brutally honest with yourself about your weaknesses, your procrastination, your excuses. Growth begins when you stop rationalizing your failures and start taking responsibility. Self-leadership means becoming your own physician, prescribing the hard medicine of discipline, cutting out the infections of bad habits, and following through with the treatment even when it feels uncomfortable. It is easier to deceive yourself with optimism than to confront your flaws with honesty, but only the latter produces healing. Another key aspect of self-leadership is resilience. Just as a doctor knows recovery often involves setbacks, relapses, and moments of pain, self-leadership requires the ability to stay the course when progress slows. Anyone can feel confident when circumstances are favorable, but the true leader is the one who remains steady when conditions turn against them. If you cannot lead yourself through disappointment, failure, and fatigue, you cannot expect others to trust your guidance during their own storms. Self-leadership is not about avoiding difficulty, but about standing firm through it. The paradox is that self-leadership, though deeply personal, always extends outward. People are influenced less by what you tell them and more by what they witness in your life. A disciplined, focused, and consistent person silently inspires others to elevate their standards. A person who governs themselves well creates a ripple effect. Family members, colleagues, and friends begin to imitate that strength. Like a doctor who improves not only a patient's health but the health of entire families through example. Your self-leadership creates invisible waves of influence far beyond what you see. Jim Rohn's hidden wisdom reminds us that leadership is not about control. It is about responsibility. The responsibility to manage your time wisely, to guard your thoughts carefully, to shape your habits intentionally, and to hold yourself accountable daily. Without this foundation, external leadership is temporary and fragile, but with it, influence becomes natural and lasting. In the end, the most important person you will ever lead is yourself. If you can master your own impulses, direct your own vision, and discipline your own habits, you will never struggle to lead others. They will follow not because of your words, but because of your example. The doctor's truth applies here as well. Before you attempt to heal others, heal yourself. Before you try to lead others, lead yourself. For in self-mastery lies the credibility, strength, and authenticity that all true leadership requires. Wealth is one of those words that people immediately connect to money, yet Jim Rohn's hidden wisdom reveals that true wealth extends far beyond a bank account. A doctor would never define health as simply the absence of disease. Health is vitality, energy, resilience, and balance. In the same way, wealth is not merely financial accumulation, it is a balanced life marked by freedom, strength of character, meaningful relationships, good health, and the ability to contribute. If money alone defined wealth, then many people with overflowing accounts but empty hearts and broken health would be considered successful, yet we know they are not. Wealth must be diagnosed holistically. Just as a doctor examines the entire body, not just one symptom, consider money as the bloodstream of wealth. It is necessary just as blood is necessary for life. Without it, survival becomes difficult. Opportunities narrow and stress overwhelms. But just as blood alone does not make a healthy body, money alone does not make a wealthy life. A patient may have strong circulation yet still suffer from disease in other systems. Likewise, a person may possess millions in financial assets yet lack joy, peace of mind, or meaningful relationships. The hidden wisdom here is simple. Money supports wealth, but it does not complete it. Jim Rohn often reminded us that wealth should be measured by lifestyle, not just by accounts. A truly wealthy person is free to use their time as they choose, free to live with health instead of constant illness, free to nurture relationships instead of losing them to neglect, and free to contribute to causes greater than themselves. These freedoms cannot be purchased with money alone. They are the result of disciplined living. A doctor will tell you that no amount of medicine can replace a patient's responsibility to eat well, exercise, and rest. Similarly, no amount of financial gain can replace the discipline required to maintain balance across the pillars of life. Health itself is one of the greatest forms of wealth, yet often the most neglected. Patients come to doctors seeking cures after years of disregard, hoping for quick fixes, when the real solution was in prevention all along. Jim Rohn would say the same about life. It is far wiser to care for your health daily than to spend fortunes trying to recover it later. True wealth requires protecting your body with the same seriousness that you protect your wallet. Without energy and vitality, money loses its meaning. Relationships, too, are wealth. Imagine a wealthy patient sitting alone in a hospital room, surrounded by machines but not by loved ones. The absence of meaningful connection is a poverty that money cannot cure. Jim Rohn's hidden lesson is that the wealthiest life is one enriched by love, friendship, and shared purpose. Contribution and character also belong in this definition. To be truly wealthy is to live in a way that adds value to others, leaving behind not just possessions but also impact. A doctor does not measure their success by the number of prescriptions written, but by the lives improved. Likewise, your wealth is measured by the good your life brings to others. The pursuit of money without balance often leads to burnout. Much like a patient who overuses stimulants to stay awake but destroys their health in the process. Wealth pursued only in dollars often costs health, relationships, and peace. Jim Rohn's hidden wisdom whispers caution: do not gain the whole world financially and lose yourself in the process. Real wealth is harmonious, not one-dimensional. The prescription for true wealth is therefore multifaceted. Guard your finances with discipline, yes, but also guard your health, invest in your relationships, and cultivate your character. Treat your time as the most precious currency, for unlike money, it can never be earned back once spent. Contribute generously, for generosity multiplies wealth in ways no bank account can measure. In the end, wealth is not what you keep in the vault, but what you carry in your spirit, your body, and your relationships. Money is only one organ in the body of a wealthy life. Neglect the others, and you remain unwell. Jim Rohn's hidden lesson is the doctor's lesson. Live in balance, care for the whole system of your life, and you will discover that wealth is not just about having more, it is about becoming more. Success is often spoken of as though it were a mystery, a secret unlocked only by the fortunate few. Yet Jim Rohn's hidden wisdom makes it clear. Success leaves clues, but those clues demand a price to be followed. A doctor knows that health is not a random accident. It is the result of consistent behaviors, proper nutrition, exercise, rest, and preventive care. In the same way, success is not a miracle. It is a predictable outcome of discipline, patience, and sacrifice. Anyone can trace the path, but not everyone is willing to pay the cost of walking it. Imagine a patient who admires the health of others, but refuses to make changes in their own lifestyle. They may want the vitality, but they are unwilling to give up unhealthy habits or endure the discipline of exercise. This is the same way many people approach success. They admire the achievements of others. They study their routines, and they even listen to their advice. But when it comes to paying the price, sleepless nights, repeated practice, consistent effort, they turn away. Jim Rohn's lesson is as direct as a doctor's. Results without sacrifice are impossible. The price of success is not always financial. Often it is the quiet cost of time invested, comfort surrendered, and gratification delayed. Just as medicine often requires the discomfort of injections or the discipline of a strict diet, success requires enduring temporary pain for long-term gain. Those unwilling to endure the treatment remain sick. Those unwilling to pay the price of success remain stagnant. The body does not heal on wishful thinking, and success does not arrive through hope alone. Consistency is one of the heaviest costs, yet also one of the most rewarding. Patients often ask doctors for shortcuts, pills that replace exercise, treatments that remove the need for discipline. Life offers similar temptations. Shortcuts that promise success without effort, but these shortcuts rarely heal and often harm. Success, like health, is earned only through steady application of the right principles. The person who reads, learns, practices, and improves daily eventually builds a future so strong that others call it luck, when in reality it was simply the compounded effect of paying the price consistently. Patience is another cost. A doctor plants trust in a treatment plan, knowing results will not appear overnight. Healing is gradual, sometimes invisible in the short term, but inevitable with persistence. Likewise, success does not reveal itself immediately. The hours of study, the months of effort, the years of sacrifice often feel unrewarded at first. Many give up too soon, failing not because success was impossible, but because they were unwilling to wait long enough to see results. Jim Rohn's hidden wisdom is that time is part of the price. You cannot rush the harvest, you must nurture it until it matures. The willingness to pay today for tomorrow is the dividing line between mediocrity and excellence. It is easy to indulge now and postpone responsibility, but just as poor health habits accumulate into disease, poor success habits accumulate into regret. The disciplined individual sacrifices temporary comfort for future reward, and in the end that sacrifice multiplies into freedom, opportunity, and fulfillment. The undisciplined individual sacrifices the future for temporary ease, and in the end that comfort decays into limitations. Ultimately, paying the price is less about suffering and more about investment. A doctor prescribes treatments not to punish the patient but to restore health and strength. In the same way, the sacrifices demanded by success are not designed to make life harder, but to make life richer. Each moment of effort is a deposit into the bank of the future, each act of discipline a prescription for vitality, and each sacrifice a seed that will one day grow into abundance. Jim Rohn's hidden lesson is that success is not denied to anyone, it is available to all who are willing to pay its price. The clues are everywhere, in the habits of the disciplined, in the choices of the wise, in the sacrifices of those who achieve. But just as no doctor can take the medicine for the patient, no mentor can pay the price for you. It is a personal responsibility, a treatment you must commit to daily, and when you do, The results, like health restored, will not only surprise you but also inspire those around you.